And so we say goodbye to Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. I've known him all my life. Most people I know have known him all their lives. And I've met him a few times as well, and I thought I'd share some little stories with you. I hope everyone on Twitter and Facebook is going to be kind. I've already seen some jokes that were in bad form already. That seems to be typical. It's typical of the military and people in uniform generally, that they have this gallows sense of humour that is born out of love and respect rather than jealousy and hatred for someone. That's why the military tells rotten jokes about you, because you're loved, probably. Most of the below decks always knew Prince Philip as Phil the Greek, and anyone else from overseas hearing that would say, "Oh, how dare you say that?" Unless, of course, you were Greek. He was affectionately known as Phil the Greek. I think that started with Barry Humphries in Australia, and it picked up with everyone in the military. I've never met anybody who's met that Duke of Edinburgh and didn't walk away from him wanting to become a better person. It was very difficult to be in his presence without being in awe of the bloke and thinking, wow, not so much Superman, but probably, well, he was a better man than me by miles. The way he treated people, the way he was, the way he listened to you. People say that he never spoke about himself, but he always spoke about the person he was speaking to, which some people would look as arrogance. I didn't look at that as arrogance. I thought he was intellectual and wonderful. He had this way about him, didn't he, that sat there and listened and took it all in, and would only give you his piece of advice reluctantly if you asked for it. A while ago, I was at the Albert Hall. You might have seen it on Ustream. I dressed up as an old soldier, and I did Rudyard Kipling's great poem, The Road to Mandalay. And afterwards, I took my girlfriend, now wife Michelle, to Annabelle's, OBE. And at the bar, she went to powder her nose, and Prince Andrew came up and said to me, "Jim," he said, I have to say that seeing you just now at the Albert Hall was fantastic." And then he said something I'll never forget. "My father thought you were the best thing in it." Now, how good is that? And I'd met Father a few times when I've done some Royal Variety shows. I was always careful never to talk to the Royal Box or never to take the mickey out the Queen and print. He's all right, he didn't mind a good ribbing, good military man, but he thought it was disrespectful saying anything dirty and rude in front of the Queen. Why he liked me, I've no idea, but he did like me. I used to make him chuckle a bit. And I think he thought I was a lost cause that should have done the Duke of Edinburgh scheme and made myself a bit better. But I know that during the Royal Variety shows, he didn't quite like the entertainers talking directly to the Royal Box. I think he looked at show business as something that was over there. He didn't quite grasp it. He knew about the military and horses and stuff like that, and he knew the classics, but people like Joe Pasquale. I remember Joe Pasquale doing a joke about toilet duck. And they took a shot of the Royal Bar in his face. And Joe must have sussed it. He said, "It's a household cleaning product." And he was one of a couple of times that I met him. The one memorable time I'll tell you about was when I got a phone call and said, "Jim, look, next month, the Variety Club are doing a roast up, a sort of a roast. The Americans, they get someone and take the piss out of someone, sit them there on the top table, sell tickets for charity, and you thoroughly get the mickey taken out of it." I don't know who it was, I sincerely don't know, but I said, "I'll do it, I'll go along." Who's there? The Duke of Edinburgh, Barry Cryer's going to speak about you, and Brian Connolly, etc. So I turned up, and the Duke was having a drink with his we have a mutual friend called Sir Donald Gosling, now sadly not with us, and the Duke was chatting to him, and Donald dragged me in, and I had a good old chat with the Duke, and he said, why are you doing this? You're mad. And so we had a couple of drinks, and we sat on the top table, and Brian Connolly started taking the mickey out of me, brilliant comedian. And I felt a little tug on my trousers, and it was the Duke. I said, "What's up, sir?" He said, "Can't you tell him to belt up?" I thought he missed the whole point of it. I don't think anyone told him that I was supposed to have been slagged off in a funny way. He got it when Barry Cryer started speaking, because Barry spoke in words that the Duke understood. And we got round to talking about show business, just me and him. And we got talking about Elton John. And he said, I'm never sure if Elton John is English or not. I said, "Do you like him?" Wonderful tunes, but why does he sing in an American accent if he's English? And then he said to me, "You speak English, Jim, don't you?" Sort of. He was great. He was a great person. And I hope that the BBC lay off the gaffes. I hope that people are kind to him, because boy has he been kind to this country and looked after our Queen. And for all of those of you who don't believe in our royalty, or are just trolls, or people who want to scroll on cenotaphs, or have a go at me, not him. Just leave the Queen and the royal family in peace. I don't care if you didn't think that Meghan and Harry's message was loving enough. I don't care what your opinions are, and you shouldn't really be bothered what my opinions are. Let's just remember how lucky our country was to have such a great man.